It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day, and it's Sunday Fun Day in my Vista garden. Still kind of a humid, hot one today, huh, friends? But not as bad as it's been. So this morning I went to Waterwise Botanicals to search for just a few little things to pop into areas that we talked about over the last few days that are just bugging me. I have some garden guests coming at the end of this week. So now is the time to start locking down and, grooming and just, that's one of the things I love about a baby garden is it is possible to keep it perfect. That is not a sustainable practice, but when it's just a brand new bouncing baby garden, despite the heat, despite the humidity, despite the rain, despite everything so new and being moved and transplanted, I'm just amazed at how well everything is, for the most part, holding up. So the kids, the grandkids, succulent babies have been here multiple times playing in their sand. And, this is for them, and they're allowed to do whatever they want in here. But now that I have the garden guests coming, I want to tighten this up and make it look a little more presentable. So I thought I would walk you through my process of what that looks like. I also noticed in my outing today that we had another little garden visitor. This looks like raccoon, right? With those claw marks.
Yeah, it's raccoon.
But what's really kind of interesting is it's like disappears, the claw marks.
Probably comes over and
Yeah, he stepped into the sand, probably didn't like the way it felt on his little footsies, and then moved his way through. But, so far, nothing has been disturbed. So we will keep hoping that that trend continues. So first off, this red bucket and the little garden trowels, these are for the kids. It doesn't look too sharp, so I'm going to move these around to the Garden of Last Chances just to tuck them out of the way for my guests. Obviously, when the kids are here, I'll pull that back into play. And another thing that I've done is kind of accidental. As the kids were digging around it with the trowel, they would unearth a piece of fiberglass or a shell, and they would get so excited because they found buried treasure. So I have been just slowly adding, soft pieces of glass and soft shells for them to discover. But, so if you see, like fiberglass and seashells, those are going to stay. This is their treasure box, and this is not really an outdoor full-time item, is it? I mean, it's clearly going to rust and fall apart very quickly if I leave it out here. So I will also put this inside. But the little boat and the wooden starfish, obviously I will restage those. Okay, and then I got my glass balls. Love these. I found these at that antique mart here in, well, actually it was in San Marcos, wasn't it? Yeah, San Marcos. Such a cool place. Highly recommend. 5 stars. Okay, move the rest of this stuff out. My fabulous crate. I really had to talk Greg into this, and I'm so glad I did because I love this thing. It's so cool. Okay. Succulent toddler Griffin discovered the ocean in a shell last time he was here, and he was having so much fun putting this to his ear and listening for the ocean, and it was so magical until he dropped this on his foot. Barefoot. But yeah, so hopefully he won't be scared to handle this again when he comes back and just will be a little more careful. This ship's wheel also probably really shouldn't be left outside, but it wasn't very much money, and I like it too much to drag it in. So if you have any suggestions of how I might protect it with some sort of a sealant or something, please let me know. I would appreciate any tips. Okay. Ooh, this is exciting. This is like vacuuming a really dirty carpet. So I've tried different tools on the sand, and I keep coming back to my outdoor broom. I just like the way this looks, makes the sand look. And I'm not going to move these pots because they're just too heavy. So I'll work around them, kind of like the way we work around furniture inside when we vacuum. But look at how this looks, guys. Oh yeah, right. And like I said, it's still a little wet from the rain, but we did not have any ill effects or disasters. You remember that this is sand, is playground sand that Greg picked up at Home Depot in the bag, and it's laid on pure concrete, no drainage, and I was concerned with the rain that it would just make a mess and just pour out all over the patio, but it didn't. It stayed put, so that was also a win. I sat out in my chair today for quite a while and just watched the monarchs. Oh my gosh, we have so many of them. And the hummingbirds are started to find the garden too, which is awesome. That's right, I got distracted. I was going to show you other fun things that I did today as I go. Oh, I haven't got to them yet. Okay. Okay, here's a fun thing. Those of you that are very sharp of eye will notice a new plant in the landscape. Hectia. 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 This is basically a terrestrial bromeliad. It's not a succulent, but it's very succulent-like. It likes to grow in the ground. And it is absolutely magnificent, isn't it? I am thrilled with that plant. I've worked with it one other time with actually a 15-gallon. It was a much bigger plant, which I potted up in the La Jolla Shores garden. But I'm just so stoked to have that in the garden. I've never had one before, so that's super exciting. And then you will also notice right next door, I changed out my ceramic clam shell. I found those super cute little feather cactus, the Mammillaria plumosa, at Waterwise, and I thought they were so cute, and to me they look like pearls. And it's just fun. So I popped 3 of those in to the shell, top dressed with some black La Paz to make them pop, and then just added a little bit of white creva along the edge in the hopes of making it look just a skosh more natural. Added a little black La Paz down here and around here too. The whole idea with all of the different types of rock is my goal was to create the illusion of depth, that the different color and textures of rocks would make this garden look really, really layered. Then the plants that I took out of the clam, I popped into my other clam because that just needed help. It got really desiccated in the heat. I bought this little Echeveria Lola, which came with some bonus sedum. So I popped that in. And what else is new? Oh, a little Kalanchoe Latticemithianthus, little kitten paw, and a moonstone. And the rest of this is just, plants that I rescued from the other shell. So yeah, this just looks a lot plumper. Really, really happy with that. And then in the blue pot, I found this poor wayward Mammillaria at Waterwise all by itself. Baby was definitely in a corner, and I rescued her and brought her home and put her in the pot. In case you hadn't noticed, I'm a bit obsessed with Mammillarias and with cactus in general, so really, really happy with that. Then over here, I just took out the sedum rubra that was here and popped in a new one that I got at Waterwise because it just was beyond redemption. It looked so bad. And my little falcata, Crassula falcata that I brought from Chula Vista, just a cutting, just stuck it in there in between all those sedums because I thought that looked super cute. Then, you know, I just tightened up the rock work a little bit where it was needed, pulled some little tiny weeds, picked up detritus, which is, you know, my absolute favorite thing to do. Oh, and I also changed out my aloes. The darker red ones that I had in the pumice didn't really show up. They were too dark. So I got some of these cuties at Waterwise today. The pink, the coral color, and the blue. And I just created kind of a little aloe scene down here, which I'm really, really happy with. I did notice that this pot has got a gap right here. See that? I like my pointer. That right there, that is unacceptable. So what I'm going to do, here's my leftovers from my Waterwise haul today. I wanted to pull in, they're over here, sweetie. I wanted to pull in a little more color, and these Sedum Adolphi looked really good. The Rubra looked good, and the Moonstones looked good because this is kind of a hot mess here and here. And I was going to, probably tomorrow, I will pack these in just for some plumping and for color. But I'm going to take one of the Moonstones. And pop it in. Oh heck, why not? One is good, two is better, right? Let's take two of them and pop it in here to fill this gap. So in your garden, you can do this. You can go around and rob Peter to pay Paul. Just moving stuff around. You notice that I'm not popping these in as cuttings because I just don't trust the weather yet. So there. Isn't that better? Yeah, I'm liking that. And then I could spend another 30 minutes just picking leaves off of this, but I'm not going to. Again, my Echeveria blooms do not have aphids, which is a tremendous miracle. But if yours do, a little neem oil or insecticidal soap should do the trick to get rid of them if they're just up on your new blooms. Okay. Let's move some stuff back into the sand. All right. And see, this is the fun of it. You know, there's no rhyme or reason. You know, I'm gonna mix it up. Do what I want. Eventually, yeah, I'm hoping to get a lot of big shells. Maybe some abalones and some other larger shells to put in my crate. That would look really cool. Okay, and then my anchor. Cute. And then, since I took out a few things, maybe I should move my wagon wheel over a little bit. Take my green balls, work these in. In my little boat. So you can see how, you know, this is not deep. And the kids have kind of, you know, it's obviously thicker in some places than others, but I want to tip the boat a little bit. There we go. Well, where did it? And then I had, when the kids were here, I had taken all of these shells. I had them all arranged down here, and I just shoved them up there. And for now, at least, I think I'm going to leave them because I don't hate that. And less is more, right? So yes, this is nice. I like the simplicity of the sand area. And I can just take my broom, clean up here, clean up my little footprints over here. That was satisfying. Okay. All right, now we've got that wonderful Vista breeze blowing through. Things have cooled down dramatically. I have puttered out here off and on all day long, so I think now Greg and I will get a glass of iced tea with some lemon in it and just sit out and enjoy the garden and enjoy the breezes, and I hope that you will do the same. This has been Laura Eubanks with Sunday Fun Day and your succulent tip of the day. Bye, guys.